Okay, we're live. Give me a second here.
Okay.
Let me wait a few moments for people to jump on. Hello, hello. Everybody can hear me? Please
I can hear you.
say hello. Okay, we have some people jumping on. All right.
Okay.
So we'll get started here in a second. Where are you, Allison?
I am in Tustin, California at a beautiful park with no one here.
No one here. That's probably the pandemic type of thing where people aren't out as much on weekdays, especially, right?
Well, there's people like walking around the perimeter of the park, but I think I'm the only one like in the park.
Yeah, cool. All right, so I see people popping on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and do an introduction. Hey everybody, this is Leo Chen, and you are watching the Wisdom Club, and you are on Wisdom Club Live, where we inspired unlimited possibilities with local business owners and people of inspiration. So today I have Allison Almond on. I love her last name. I wish I could have that last name, Allison Almond. Also, just rolls off the tongue, so I love it. And I'd love for her to just introduce herself a little bit and tell everybody where you're from, your background, how you ended up here, and as well as what you do for a living.
Okay. Hi, friends. I'm Allison Almond. I'm the Organization Maven. I help people that are disorganized and living in too much clutter. I help people by organizing their homes, their garages, and even their lives. I have been doing it for a long time, over 20 years experience. I help people in Southern California, Orange County, Riverside County, a little bit of Los Angeles. And I just like to help people and meet new people and have new challenges.
Well, we never have a shortage of challenges, especially lately. So I think
Yes.
I think we all, if we can all welcome challenges, then everything will be, okay, right?
Yeah, it's exciting for me. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. It's just someone's garage or someone's closet, right? I have to fit this piece into that drawer and those pieces into that drawer, and then this stuff doesn't even go, so I get rid of it.
Yeah.
So it's like a giant jigsaw puzzle. It's very exciting for me. It's a cross between jigsaw puzzle and Tetris.
Tetris, I like Tetris. We got to put all that stuff in the right boxes.
Right. And you get an odd shape and you're like, okay, what do I do with this? And oh, it goes over there. Okay. No, I got, okay, this awkward piece. Okay, it goes over there. It's really fun. I remember in high school being told if you have a good hobby that you're good at, that's what you should be when you grow up. So if you like being outside, you become a ranger. And if you like to, work with numbers, you should be an accountant. So back then I chose to be a home organizer, but it wasn't a very common profession. And I was raised that a woman's place is in the home raising children or in an office being a secretary or administrative person. So for me to kind of be outside the box and be a home organizer just wasn't well received very well by my family. And so I just was nudged into other directions. And I just kept coming back to organizing. Anytime I would be laid off or in between jobs or whatnot, I would just go back to organizing. And so now it's like, here it is 20 years later, I'm doing what I wanted to be when I grew up.
Yeah. So now you've been doing it for a long time, and in Orange County mostly as well. Were you born and raised in Orange County?
Yes, I actually grew up in Tustin, and then when I was about 17, moved to Costa Mesa, And then from there, I've lived in multiple cities multiple times. I've actually moved 30 times, and it's all been Orange County since I was 17. So I've moved into Irvine, Laguna Niguel, Lake Forest, San Clemente, Newport Beach, a couple different places, Costa Mesa, a couple different places. This is my third place to live in Fullerton. I lived in Orange. I've always rented. I did, for a very short time, own a condo in Lake Forest and lived there for 10 months before I moved out and signed it over to my parents and said, I don't want to be a part of this property anymore. Good luck. And they still own it as far as I know.
Okay.
But yeah, so I've just moved 30 times, and I've packed up and unpacked and packed up and unpacked and loaded the truck and unloaded the truck. So really having that experience on packing up and being organized and having a good moving plan, all of that just gave me extra experience to be able to do my job.
So when did you officially made this like, this is your career, like you didn't want to change anymore? This is what I love doing. This is what I do well at.
Well, it kind of evolved into this. 10 years ago, I quit a job that I just wasn't happy with, and I started cleaning houses. And when I was cleaning houses, I was the best house cleaner because I would organize people's bathrooms and closets so I could wipe the countertop or vacuum the floor of the closet. And then every week I would reorganize and put away things so I could clean. And my clients loved how thorough I was, but hated how it took me all day to clean their house. And yet I was there every week. And so they're like, Allison, you should be able to do this in 2 hours. Why are you here 6 hours? And I'm like, oh, well, I've been putting away and organizing the toys and doing this and doing that. And oh, your toilet seat was wiggly, so I tightened it. And, you know, this cabinet was squeaking, so I used WD-40 on it. So that's how it made it 6 hours. And they're like, Allison, we don't want you to do all that extra stuff. We just want you to clean the floors, clean the toilets, mop. We don't want you to do all this extra stuff. And I was like, but I want to do all the extra stuff. So then it changed to, okay, I'll be a personal assistant to people. So I did that for a couple of years. I did a lot of laundry and grocery shopping and everything. And once they found out that I was an organizer, then it just evolved where all I was doing was organizing and I wasn't doing any laundry anymore. So officially just doing organizing, not anything else, was about 3 years ago.
About 2 years. Okay. But it sounds like you've always been doing it at some form or another, whatever job
Right.
that you were doing or whatever, client that you had and all that kind of stuff, right?
Right. I had a client that I was her personal assistant, but I did a lot of organizing of her closets and picking up her dry cleaning and then putting it all away and then reorganizing her closet and folding her underwear. And she would go on vacation and I would pull out all the clothes and put them into her luggage. And then when she came back from her trip, I would unpack and wash or dry clean and put everything away. She would tell me that her pantry was messy, and I'd go over there and reorganize it, and then I'd buy new stuff, and then I'd buy the bins, and then I'd do the chalk on the little labels. And 90% of the time she was out of town, so I just had a key code to get into her house, and she would reimburse me for anything that I purchased, and then she would be home for a week or two out of the month, and if that, and then messy up the house again and say, Allison, I want to change the color scheme. I'm tired of shells. And then I'd go buy driftwood and redecorate the living room and organize all the magazines. She was the funnest, I'll tell you that.
So it was a lot more than just moving stuff around and organizing, right? It was like, other miscellaneous things like it sounded like the things that you also enjoy doing is like, a little bit of like handyman jack of all trade kind of a thing, like just it keeps your creativity going, and then it's just very eclectic and interesting, so you're not just always doing the same organization over and over.
Well, for me, I consider myself a full service organizer. So I take care of all the loose ends in a project. So if it requires to do a little bit of buying of items or maybe, I guess, like a handyman type stuff, then I will do it so that there's no loose ends. I don't want to be that person that's like, okay, my job is done. I've organized. Now you're stuck with the leftovers. Now you got to donate this and you got to take this to hazardous waste. And this needs to be painted and this needs to be put on the wall. Like, to me, that doesn't finish the project. So if I am involved in all the parts, then I can truly finish the project and do it from start to finish.
Because you want to see everything completed. All, right?
It just makes me, I found most of my clients are too busy to do all those other loose ends. So then overall, they felt the project was kind of blah, because all I did was organize and then I left them all this work. So it was just discussed through trial and error where, you know, if you want me to do the whole project, then tell me to do the whole project. And then you'll feel better that the project is complete because everything will be taken care of.
So most people I know, no one wants to organize and clean. I mean, some people do for a short period of time, right? But they don't want to be doing it all the time. And a lot of people, when they start doing that, they actually make more mess and more problems and more overwhelm, you know, than they begin with, because you have to like undo stuff to like redo stuff. Right?
So, well, I found that a lot of people, they'll set up something and they'll have, Pinterest is a great example of all the beautiful baskets and labels and everything for a pantry or a closet. And they put so much effort into making it look all pretty and the same and everything, but they have no desire to what I call keep it up. So they'll walk into their pantry and they'll just dump everything on the floor or push things off to the side and just shove it on that cabinet. And so then they just lose that enthusiasm or the cuteness of the project. So I'm a lot more of not so much a micro organizer, but a macro organizer. So I kind of put like items together. And then when I talk to my clients and find out they're busy and they just want it to be easy for them to maintain it, then I usually don't go with baskets. I go with clear drawers or clear bins so that they can change what they put in there and whatnot. Like especially like for kitchens, I put all the grains together, but I don't really micro organize and put all the rices and the pastas separately. I'll just have one whole shelf be grains with different clear bins. So whoever does the grocery shopping or putting away the groceries, at least they get it on the right shelf, you know. And at least that, you know, they could see that they have a lot of rice but no you know, they have a lot of pasta but no sauce, so then they can go buy more sauce and they're not like, you know, because I feel like I said, more people are more interested in just putting things away in a general spot versus putting everything back, you know, with the rices being together and all the pastas together. The other thing is a lot of people just put things down for later because they don't want to spend the 15 seconds to put things on the right shelf or in the right baskets. So then they just plop it down and go, oh, I'll deal with this later. And then the next day they plop something on top of it. Oh, I'll deal with this later, because they don't want to spend the 15 seconds. So a lot of the systems I set up with my clients is like right by the front door, I put a trash can. And so when you walk in the door with the mail, right away, the junk mail goes in the trash. It doesn't get plopped down onto an entry table for later. Just right away, just, okay, this is trash, 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 trash. And then what's left over is bills or things they have to sign or file. And at least it's not that big of a pile. So I do a lot of talking with my clients to find out what's best for them. And then if they need 2 trash cans by their front door, one for paper and one for doggy bags, you know, poopy bags or whatever, then, you know, then we set it up and it's a lot of talking with them and seeing what their lifestyle is and how busy they are or not busy or how detailed they are, you know, that kind of thing. There's just lots of variables included.
So you've obviously worked with a lot of people before. So what suggestions would you have for like just the general public, for everybody? Because I think 99% of people are not as organized. I meet a few, but not very many. So what are some of your tips or suggestions that they can take away from this?
Well, I think people need to be realistic with what they can handle and what they have on their plate. I think it's a mixture of time management. And so if they're taking on too much in their life, then the pressure to be like, oh, I have to be super organized, or I have to have everything, you know, in these bins or caddies or everything, and then it's hard to maintain. So I kind of feel like it's a mixture of kind of being as organized as you can be. I think that some people kind of thrive on that disorganization, or they have everything on their desk and they know where it is and they don't want to put it away because that's how they do well under that kind of pressure. So most of my clients reach out to me because they're tired of the chaos, and they're tired of being disorganized, and they're tired of just feeling overwhelmed all the time. So the people that are artistic and don't need my help, then I just send them on their way to a blog or something along those lines. But most of the people that reach out to me are tired of their situation. They're tired of closing the door and saying, oh, I can never get to this, I don't know where to start. So I kind of come in with an action plan and get it done, and then kind of do it for them, and then set it up for them for easy maintaining.
So if they wanted to deal with it themselves, do you have any tips for them?
Yeah. Have lots of helpers, in the sense of having trash cans close to the door for the mail, or having hooks for your umbrellas, or and then a lot of it is you know make things easy for other people to help you, like putting the pasta all on one shelf. That way whoever helps you unload the groceries, it's easy for them. You can label this whole shelf is pasta, and that's where it all lives. And having things easy for everyone in the house to help with. Like if one thing is remembered, that the scissors always go in the drawer where the utensils are, and then just have everyone return the scissors back. It's just everyone kind of doing their part and defining the space, and then having helpers, in the sense of having the trash cans and having different things that are kind of routinely set up that way.
Okay, very cool. So, so I think either way, if people can just kind of set themselves up with things that they can have a designated place for. You can start small, one or two things, or maybe start with trash cans and things like that, so that they're not keeping trash laying around when they have to throw it away, make it convenient for them, right?
Right. Because they have that big stack of mail, and they put more mail on top of it, and then more mail, and then more mail, and then when they're looking for a bill or a check or something, oh, oh, um, then they're not digging through that pile. At least have it kind of pre-sorted, in the sense of, well, we know that the pile isn't as big, to look for what we're looking for. And then Sunday night is a really good night to go through piles of mail, whether you have a basket or not, or it's that night before getting ready for the work week, and getting all your supplies together for what you need for the week. And then if something's too disorganized, like I said, Sunday nights are really good prep nights to get your week started, and organize a drawer, or organize a cabinet, or get rid of clothes you're not wearing anymore, because we're in summer now, so you don't need that winter coat in your closet.
Yeah, very cool. Good. So I think we cover, things that you have to be uh, get overwhelmed and cluttered and stuff like that. So I hope that people are watching that get something out of it, and if they need to reach out to you, we'll give them all your links and stuff. So
Okay.
you and I could communicate a little bit, and you had mentioned to me you had a question for me. Do you remember what it was?
Are you talking about my quote?
No, the question you had for me.
Oh, how did you meet Sharran with the 5 a.m. club?
Oh, so I was trying to think, and it's all a little bit fuzzy because right around that time, a few things happened. I read a book called A Miracle Morning, and it's by Almond. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, so that's like he's like the grandfather of the 5 a.m. club, if you will, because he wrote this book about getting up early and how to structure your morning routine and why you should do that and how it helped him. And so it's the book called the Miracle Morning. And so so I read the book and I thought, okay, I'm having some issues where I was going to bed late and not feeling very well the next morning. And I noticed that if I had gotten to bed earlier and I'd gotten up earlier, then I felt a lot better throughout the day. So I started reading the book on tips on how to get up earlier in the morning because I've been a night owl my whole life, So, and when you get when your alarm goes off in the morning, you don't want to stay in bed and it's still dark outside and all that stuff. So he had a few quick tips like keep a glass of water, around. Put your phone, outside your room, of course, and your alarm outside your room.
You have to get up. You have to get up and walk out there.
Yeah, he had a few more tips on it, and I just started implementing them so that I could get up, and it worked. And so, but then a friend was telling me like, hey, you should go on this call I've been on. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and and I didn't understand what he was talking about. Like, what do you mean? What do you do? Like, who's on this call? Are you talking to somebody? Is somebody talking to you? What's going on? And so it took me actually a few weeks before I kind of started to figure out what it was. What it was is, in case those people who are out there don't know, is that it's a conference call where you come on and you don't have to say anything. You can introduce yourself if you want. There'll be a guest speaker or a host that just gives you a few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes worth of a message for the day, an inspiration, a story, or something like that. And that call actually helps you wake up because you have to answer the phone. You have to, say hello, say good morning. You don't have to, but you can be on the call. And that there's a little bit of accountability where you're not the only one up at that time. And so that allows you to think like, oh, I can get a good start my day. So it's another one of those tools that helps you get up early in the morning because when you get up early in the morning, you have a lot more time to yourself. You can take care of things. Phones are not ringing. You can do your meditation. I do yoga in the morning. And so that's how I kind of got introduced to the 5 a.m. club. It just so happens that Sharran is in the real estate industry where he used to be partners at a brokerage. And he put on a private mastermind for only about 20 people in San Diego. And so right around that time, I didn't know anything about it. I just said, well, it sounds good. I want to go on do this, and because I'm in the industry, I want to learn, what other people are doing. So I showed up, and that's how I met him in person. And so we've been pretty much talking, at least every week or every day by now. So that's how I met Sharran, and that's how I got involved in the 5 a.m.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I'm ready up for 5 a.m., but I do wake up early. I'm not a night owl. I never have been. By 9 o'clock, that's lights out for me. And I usually get up at 6:30, and I have that as being my social media time and kind of prepping my day and that kind of stuff. But 5 a.m. sounds scary.
Well, you let me know if you want to get on the call. You just dial the number, put yourself on mute, and you can just listen.
Okay.
But it's always some great stories and some great motivational, things that you would just share. So
Okay.
one day you get up early, like, hey, you can give it a try.
5 a.m. still feels like the death hour to me, like because I go to bed at 9 o'clock, then it's like 5 o'clock, so 6 o'clock is like then the perfect time for me.
Yeah. So you get up around 6 o'clock every morning?
Yeah, I mean prior to COVID, I woke up at 6 a.m. no problem. Then I started going to bed later and later and later because I didn't have any work in the morning. So then it kind of messed with my sleep cycle. Now I've been getting back to bed around 10, but then waking up at 7:30. So now I'm like, ooh. So that 2 hours
Yeah.
seems like sleeping time still.
Well, I love what you do because in real estate, we have such a need for people like you to be able to fill in the blanks. We are always dealing with people that are moving, organizing, unpacking, packing, whatever it is that they're doing, always evolve around real estate. And so I appreciate, what you do, and I don't think there's enough people like you, actually. I think there should be more because you organize everything from the start. It's a lot easier to maintain it that way rather than have to undo stuff and redo stuff all the time, right?
And then it makes your job easier when it comes time for pre-staging or getting the house ready on the market. They know where all their stuff is, and their closets look nice or their drawers look nice, and so then it makes everything easier. Yeah, I mean, if everyone was organized, I would have to be a barber or something.
For sure.
Or I would just,
So you bring up a good point. When somebody is thinking about selling, they should just go in and organize everything and get everything taken care of so that they can, have it ready to put on the market, to be shown, to have photography and video and all that stuff.
Yeah, and they have to pack up their house one way or another, whether it's before they put their house on the market or after it's in escrow. So if we can pre-pack it before it gets put on the market, then that's less stuff and less clutter, and then makes the stager's job easier so they can come in and stage. Or if you do the staging yourself, then
So when they're ready, when they do sell their house, they're ready to move, and they can be easier to move from place to
because I know that 30-day escrow time period runs by very quickly between all the home inspections and getting looking at other houses and stuff. Like, people don't want to stay home and pack their house. They just don't.
Well, it's just very tough. It's not that the time goes by so fast. There's so many things to do. Having the homes being seen, being inspected. We have to the sellers have to respond to contracts. The seller have to renegotiate some things with the repairs, a termite, on and on and on and on. It's not
mold.
It's not
if there's mold in the house.
Yeah, you have to fix something. Maybe there's requests on fixing something. There's just a lot of things to do. Just the sale itself, and it's not. If you add more work to it and having to do the move and stuff, it's overwhelming. But it's part of our job to make that as smooth as possible, as easy as possible. But at the same time, I wouldn't pile on another, thing on top of it. Trying to get it done. Because if your escrow is closed, you got to get out. It's no longer your house. Period. There's no going back there. Oh, can I come back tomorrow? No, it's not your house anymore. You can't expect. So I know that. Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your thoughts. How can people find you?
So they can find me through my website, which is www. and then it's my name. So it's Allison, Allison, and as you said, Almond, Almond, just like the nut.com. I'm on all over social media. The Organization Maven is the brand name that I've chosen because a maven means that someone who knows. And so I felt with all my experience, I know every situation versus taking a webinar and saying, okay, I'm a home organizer now, hire me. I wanted people to feel comfortable that I knew my trade and I knew my skill, and that there was really nothing that would surprise me or be too impossible. So that's why I chose the Organization Maven. So you can go onto LinkedIn, House, Home Advisor, Angie's List, Instagram, Facebook, just everywhere. I mean, I'm just on everything.
Wherever you want to be seen, you're probably on there. So that's great.
Yeah.
So, okay. And I know we talked a little bit about it. And did you have a quote that you want to share with everybody, or just a thought or something?
Okay, so we all know what insanity is. It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. But if you just change one thing in your daily routine, then you'll have a different outcome. So whether it's something good or something bad, you have to be willing to try something different. So, and how I do that in my life is like a lot of it's just like who I connect to or what networking groups I go to. I didn't like 2019 very much, having no idea 2020 would be the way it is. So I did a lot of changes in December and January to get me here. And so far it's been positive with a lot of roller coaster feelings.
Great. All right. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate you again coming on and taking the time. I know you were driving somewhere and then you decided to stop and get on here and help us and be on the show and sharing your message. So thank you again, and so thank you everybody for watching. That's it for us today. Appreciate you watching. If you have any questions for me or for Allison, feel free to comment, or you can always reach out to either one of us. Our profiles are tagged here in the post. And that's it for today. Happy Monday, everybody. And thank you for watching the Wisdom Club Live. And we will see you again tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, friends.
Bye.